and thank you. Welcome to the Calvin Dean Show. This is my Saturday Fantasy Football Roundup, guys. You have to listen to the show because guess what? You know, it is time to make some moves, guys. It's time to make some moves. Plan ahead, man. Gotta plan ahead, right? Like Tua faces the Jets, right? And then the Cowboys, and then the Ravens. I mean, come on now. Think about it. Second towards quarterbacks, the Jets, right? The Cowboys are 14th. Okay, all right, there you go. Oh, but wait, the Ravens are first. Now, I know sometimes the Ravens get caught going downtown with Tyreek Hill against Tyreek Hill. But man, this year they're stocked. They're just stacked. And then you got to think, what about, so think about it. What I'm trying to get at is Tua. If you have Tua, it might be beneficial to your fantasy game to trade up on him, get a quarterback like Will Levis, right? I'm telling you, Will Levis is really good, and he is a gunslinger, right? Something like that, but you could maybe trade for Jared Goff or something in that realm because you have to start, really concerning yourself with the history and the future of your team, right? Like Saquon Barkley faces the Saints, the Eagles, the Rams, Moreover, the Giants defense is scoring only 10.4 points per game this season. 10.4 per game. So, I mean, I have Barkley. I got to start thinking about trading up on him. And if you have Tua, I would start trading up on him. Guys, you just need to know. Now, the guys who are exciting, guys, is running back Austin Eckler. He's exciting. You know why? Because, well, number one, look at their record. Okay? The Chargers need to win out. They really do need to. They're not going to win this week, but they're going to win out. They need to win out. Eckler faces the Raiders, right? And then the Bills and the Broncos. Think about it. The Raiders' run defense is 29th against running backs. 29th, right? And think about it. Guess who's playing the Raiders this weekend? Brace Hall. If you have Brace Hall, you best just start him. And then he plays the Bills, who are 24th, right? And the Broncos are 32nd. Think about it. He ranks in the top 3 among running backs and targets per game, right? Goal line carries per game as well. Top 3, Austin Eckler. Great pickup. What about Bijan Robinson, right? Bijan Robinson, the rookie, faces the Panthers, who are 28th against running backs. The Colts, who are 26th against running backs. Think about the Colts, guys, tomorrow. Ready? They're playing who? The New England Patriots. Bill Belichick's New England Patriots in Frankfurt, Germany. Stevenson. Start Stevenson. Colts are 26th defense against running backs. And then they play the Bears, who are 31st. Wow. Despite 13 fewer carries than Algier through 9 weeks, 13 fewer carries. Robinson still has more rushing yards after contact than Algier has in total rushing yards. There you go. Bijan Robinson is definitely for real. Algier is good too. Algier's good. He won last year's the rookie rushing title. He won last year, so he's no slouch. That's for sure. Okay, the next wide receiver you have to keep. He's going to ball. Ball. DK Metcalf of the Seattle Seahawks. Come on, guys. He faces the next teams that he faces, right? Now, this is important, guys, because you have to know this. You have a fantasy team. You want to win. You want to get into playoffs. Like, I have one team that I'm like 4-5. You know, I have to get into playoffs. You know, so you have to make some moves. And DK Metcalf, all right, he faces the Eagles. The Eagles are 31st against wide receivers. 31st against wide receivers. The Titans 29th. And the Steelers 27th. All right. Well, thing of it is with the Steelers, you have to have your quarterback has to be upright because their rush is amazing. You know, I just can't believe they're 27th. Wow. For the second straight year, Metcalf is leading the NFL in end zone targets. End zone targets. His receiving touchdowns should positively regress towards the top 10 in the league. Okay? As they were in 2022. Come on now. Really? DK is all that and then some. Now, there's some people who need to launch, and this is me too. I have them too on my team. I only have them like on maybe one or two teams. I have 62 teams, guys. Calvin Ridley. He's just, I don't know. His first year back, maybe he's not sharp. There may be no other receiver more matched up, dependent than a Jaguars wideout Calvin Ridley in 4 games against top 12 wide receiver defenses, right? Regularly averaged only 6.4 fantasy points per game. His other 4, that numbers jump by 10 to 16.4. Wow. The near future is bright for Ridley as he faces 2 bottom 7 defenses against wide receivers in the NFL. Well, the 49ers, right, tomorrow, and the Titans. But after week 11, mind you, Ridley is a must-sell. A must-sell. In 5 of his 6 games, he has just one matchup with bottom 16 defenses against wideouts, okay? With half of his remaining opponents ranking inside the top 5. So that's what you have to know, guys, because that's championship. That's when you get into that, you are looking to get into the playoffs, just squeaking in, and you are looking to go long into the playoffs, win that first game. So, but not with Calvin Ridley. The next 2 games, yes, but not after that. So you have to prepare to launch him. And I'm telling you something, he'll score some good points, right? He'll score some good points for these 2 teams that he has, that I just told you about, the 49ers and the Titans, right? But after that, that would be great. If he scores some good points against these 2 teams, right? He's a great candidate to trade. Not everyone listens to this show. I only have 34,000 subscribers. So there you go. Okay, now about George Kittle. I have him on a lot of my teams. In the last 2 years, George Kittle's success has been very predictable. In an offense with elite weapons, come on, Christian McCaffrey, come on, Ayuk. I mean, go on, Debo. I mean, it goes on and on and on, right? In 3 games this year without Debo Samuels and Brandon Ayuk, Kittle's targets nearly tripled. He went from 3.2 to 9.0, resulting in 3 best games receiving yards. Extending sample size of 2022 provides further confidence in this man. Missed, how many games? Now, 4 games Samuel missed, right? 6 touchdowns for George Kittle in those games. 4 games that Debo Samuels missed, right? George scored 6 touchdowns. See, guys, you got to need to know all these things. If you have a player, you need to know how to start them. And Debo is questionable for tomorrow. Questionable. They don't know if he's going to go. The coach was saying, "Oh, I sure hope so." When the coach says "sure hope so," the player is not. He's not playing. And then, we have to understand something about San Francisco. They're like, why are they on a losing streak? Well, they have elite players, but when those elite players go down, the drop-off of talent is substantial because they have such a high, they're paying all these elite players, right? And when these players go down, they don't have the money to, have a great backup or a really, really, substantial backup. They just don't. And that's the unfortunate part. Trent Williams is one of them. Trent Williams is going to be in the Hall of Fame, Canton, Ohio. He's going first. He will be first ballot nomination. He'll get in. He's that good. And he's a house. And when he's out of that house, and when he's off the field and there's no house there in your offense, man, you got problems. Because every time he's in running play, when he pulls and goes to his right, wow. Guys, I want you to type in Trent Williams in YouTube and look at his film and look at how big this guy is and how important he is to this team, right? And then you have Deebo Samuels, who is sort of like, you can hand it off to him, you can make him run, you can, he's great at yak after catch. He's very elusive. He breaks a lot of tackles. Brandon Ayuk is just the same way. George Kittle's the same way. George loves to pound you, So I'm telling you that you wonder why everyone's blaming Brock Purdy. But guys, the San Francisco 49ers have not looked the same because of Deebo Samuel's out and Trent Williams. Trent Williams is huge because Trent Williams is the left tackle, the best left tackle in the game of football. He is the best, guys. There's no one better than Trent Williams. Zero. And he also helps for the pass protection for Brock Purdy. Gives him that more time to throw. And when he's out, he's been out. He got hurt, right? The game he lost. The first game against Cleveland. They lost at, the field goal kicker. Misses a 41-yard field goal, right? Embarrassing. But they lost, right? The next 2 games they lost because who's out? Deebo Samuels and Trent Williams. So hopefully Trent Williams will be back for the 49ers tomorrow. If he isn't, it's going to be a long day against the Jaguars. A long day. But I think he is coming back, and I think he is playing. And Deebo Samuels is a maybe. But if Trent Williams is definitely coming back tomorrow, hands down, the 49ers will win. They will win. Now, why don't we get to Pittsburgh? Devontae Adams is a volume receiver in Pittsburgh. Is that true? Is that true? I think it is. It always has been, right? When he's on the field, he's been hurt. The Steelers continue to deploy George Pickens, right? To take the top off the deep threat. The guy just makes some his catches are just it's out of this world. And the speed of that, I'll tell you something. Devontae Johnson back for Pittsburgh is huge, guys. Is huge. Great slot receiver. He's going to have a huge game. Huge game tomorrow. Huge game. Make sure to start Devontae and George Pickens. I think they'll have a strong end of season for both of them. What about Taysom Hill from the New Orleans Saints? I have never seen anything like it. The guy is a tight end in fantasy football, right? Then he plays quarterback, and then he's a runner. And the guy is just amazing. I have no idea that the position for Taysom Hill plays. Where does he play? I mean, who? I mean, think about it. I mean, is he a water boy? I don't know. It's like he's passing, he's running. He's definitely a great fantasy pickup, because think about it. They give it to him, short yardage offense, defense even too. Short yardage offense, and they're on the 1 or 2 yard line. You know he's going. You know what he's doing. He's running the ball. Why wouldn't you pick him up? Well, maybe if you had Kelsey or Andrews, or maybe Kittle, but why not? I mean, the guy is great. His success isn't coming from luck or overperformance either, guys. But it's from an increase of volume. They've been giving him the ball. Valuable volume, man. His touches have increased in 4 straight games, bolstered by an increase of 15 snaps per game. Guys, an extra 15 snaps per game for Taysom Hill. Oh, he's a must-start. What about Will Levis? Will Levis has 3 of 8 longest touchdown passes in NFL by next-gen stats in air distance metrics. The guy has a cannon. He reminds me of sort of like a Cutler, Jeff George, with a big arm. Now that's over the entire season. He's only had 2 games. A Buccaneers team that ranks dead last against explosive pass plays in 2023. Guys, you best just, if you have him, if he's still on the waiver wire or whatever, you best pick him up and start him against Tampa Bay. Seriously, he's going to light it up. The guy is just, a weakness can be exploited after 17 touchdowns, scoring 17 touchdowns on the ground in his collegiate career. 17 touchdowns. So he runs too. That could be his weakness. I mean, he could, because the thing of it is with Will, he's competitive. He thinks he's, he is built. So, but he's really competitive, and that might be his downfall. But start him. Now, what about Jonathan Taylor and Moss of the Indianapolis Colts? Jonathan Taylor's time in his committee is over. It's over, guys. For the 4th straight game following his return, Taylor's snaps has increased. Reaching a season high of 75% in week 9. Wow. Since being drafted in 2020, this phenom has averaged more than 21 points per game, nearly 25 carries given in 3/4 of snap share. Snap share. You heard me. Snap share. Guys, he's all that and then some. If you have Zach Moss, I would always start Zach Moss. It's funny thing is we always talk about this, and then Zach Moss goes off. If you don't have Jonathan, it'd be between Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss, of course, I would pick Jonathan Taylor. Some guys do that, guys. If they'll pick the running back and they'll pick their backup. So in case that running back gets hurt, they'll always have the backup. They usually do that. A lot of fantasy guys do that. But there's so many players now that are very, very good in the NFL. it's some people don't do that anymore, but we used to do that in fantasy football. So far, only 3 running backs have averaged more than 20 points per game for this year. Do you know who they are? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Anyone? Well, you know Christian McCaffrey, Travis Etienne, ding, 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 and Alvin Kamara. Yeah. Taylor will likely join this list sooner, very sooner than later. So expect a big, big, big game tomorrow in Frankfurt, Germany for Mr. Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss, I think, too. I think they both will. Okay. What about CJ Stroud? Wow. Wow. I mean, the guy is on fire. And guys, just a reminder, Jamar Chase is questionable for tomorrow's game. Questionable, guys. Jamar Chase is questionable. They got some hurt players on that team. So just be very careful. Very careful. Houston's coming into town, and CJ Stroud is hot. He's been lightening up the defenses. He has. He has rapidly building chemistry with Houston's new weapons. The rookie has played wide receiver Ohio State offense before drafting to the Texans. I mean, he is just amazing. I mean, the kid is just all... I told everyone, I said, there's 2 quarterbacks in this draft that I think are going to do great. If I was the Carolina Panthers, I told everyone this. I would have started, and I would have picked C.J. Stroud. I would have picked him. He is just so much. You could just see how he just sits in the pocket, little taller person, right? Doesn't have to run around to avoid the hands going up in front of him so he can see over the lineman, right? That I feel sorry for sometimes teams that they just get hooked on these quarterbacks, and I don't know if Young's going to make it. I just don't know. I don't think he's going to make it, guys. He just looked terrible the other night. It was Thursday night football was it was atrocious. I mean, guys, I fell asleep. I don't know how many times I fell asleep on that game. I mean, come on. I was texting my buddy, and I was like, first he texted me, he says, dude, who do you like tonight? I go, the Bears. At home. Okay, cool. So I don't hear back from him. And I text him near the, I don't know, it was like the third quarter. And I was like, dude, I'm having a hard time staying awake. I keep falling asleep. This game is so hard to watch. It's like, oh, someone picked another field goal. Oh, it's like watching soccer. Oh. Anyway. It was terrible. I feel sorry for Young. I do. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, he might get better with better weapons. He has Thielen. Adam Thielen is he's great. He was good. He was great. And Adam Thielen, he has to bring a walker to the game, and then they give him some type of shot to just get out there because the guy is like, 50, But, sorry. But anyway, C.J. Stroud, definitely start him against Cincinnati. He's building a weapon. And it's the funniest part is he's building a weapon from the Dallas Cowboys. What weapon would that be? Would that be Dalton Schultz? Yeah, it would be, man. I mean, it is not... this Dalton Schultz looks so good. A slow start, right? Don't be deceived. by Schultz, who has averaged 16 fantasy points per game in this most recent span. Okay, a 10-point increase over the first month. He was only averaging like 6 points per game before this. Pick up Dalton Schultz. If he's on the waiver wire, pick him up, pick him up, pick him up, guys. Important stuff, guys. Important stuff, you know. Let's go over really quickly the games. So I gave you some insight. We have the Colts and the Patriots. Stevenson start. You know, Taylor start. Go over to Minshew. I think we'll have a good game. You know, there's Downs. Downs will have a good game if he is available. Check the injury report. He was questionable for the game, so check the injury report on him. I think Downs will do well. The Ravens and the Browns. I think it'll be a bruising game. It's in Baltimore. Baltimore plays really well at home. Lamar Jackson's been on fire. It's an interdivisional game. Always very, very close. Always very, very close. Both defenses are just huge. You think about it, guys, and they're both defenses. You have to start. If you have anyone on their if you have their defense, either one, you have to start each one. You just have to. Rushing, the Ravens are 1, right? So start Edwards, the new kid, Mitchell, you know, of course, Lamar Jackson. Of course, you have to start Andrews, you know. Do you start Zay Flowers? Yeah, I would start Zay Flowers. I mean, if you don't have like Jamar Chase or something like that, Jamar Chase is questionable too. So anyway, make sure before, like in the mornings on Sunday morning, you really should check the injury reports for all the teams and see who's in and out. Usually it comes down in early mornings around 8 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, which would be around 11 o'clock Eastern Time. So I wouldn't start. I would start Lamar Jackson, but I would not start Deshaun Robinson. Now, excuse me, Deshaun Jackson, Watson. Excuse me, Robinson, Jackson. What am I? Anyway, Deshaun Watson, man. I don't know. Cooper. I would start Cooper, maybe Ford, but I really wouldn't start too many people on the Browns. Maybe Deshaun Watson if it's a must, and then Cooper and Ford. That's the only 3, and then their defense. So you never know, guys. It's any given Sunday. You never know if a team comes out and they're ready. I would assume that Baltimore would be ready because their coach always gets them ready. That you have the Texans going into Cincinnati. Wow. This is literally my upset special of the week. This is my upset special. I have the Houston Texans to beat the Bengals in Cincinnati. I just see it happening. I just do. I think C.J. Stroud, you got to start him. Check out all the wide receivers. Collins, I know Collins is out. You have to dip Bell, Brown. You have to really pay attention to I would just go for it with the Texans. The Bengals offense is only 30th. Their rushing is 32nd. I think that excuse me. I think they're going to do much better with Mixon. You never know. I think they're going to. Mixon's been doing better lately, but they're 32nd in the league in rushing. It's not that good, guys. Not that good. So Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud, Jamar Chase. Check the injury report in the morning. I already gave you Mixon to start him. T.J. Higgins is out this game. T.J. Higgins will be out this game. So if you have T.J. Higgins, guys, you have to get another wide receiver. And, man, think about that. TJ Higgins is out, right? So then they double team Jamar, who is actually injured, right? And so it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be an interesting game. If you have the Bengals defense, start them, guys, because think of it, you don't know. It's any given Sunday, but just if you have those players, the ones I mentioned, start, all right? San Francisco 49ers. Hopefully Trent Williams will be back for them. If he is, always start, Christian McCaffrey. Always start him. I would start Brock Purdy if you have him. Ayuk, start him. George Kittle, start. The San Francisco 49ers defense, start, especially with, they just got Chase Young from the Washington Commanders. The bookends, Bosa and Young. Oh my God. Guys, that's just going to be great to watch. Great to watch. I mean, you can't, you're going to double one, you're going to double. So if you double, you have two other guys that are rushing. And it's going to be tough for the Jags. It's going to be tough. I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to get after Mr. Lawrence. I would start Trevor. Ridley, I would start Wrigley. I think Ridley might do really well this game because of the Niners, their deep threat offense. I would start ETN, guys, if you have anybody on the Jags in the San Francisco 49ers, I want to start the Jags defense. That's one thing I want to start. I don't know. I just wouldn't start them. I just have a feeling that the 49ers are just going to come out the gates and just going to pour it on. Their defense is 13th, right? And the Niners' defense is 6th. They look pretty even. The whole game, they do look pretty even. Give it up to the Jags, man. They're really looking great this year. Really, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jags turn around and beat these guys, but I don't think they will. That's my lock of the week is the Niners over the Jags. Now, the Saints are playing into Minnesota. I would start Derek Carr, Offglave, Kamara, Chase and Hill, like we talked about, and even their defense. I would start the Vikings. Joshua Dobbs looks great. He came in. He was really shaky at first last week, but man, he came in and he dominated near the end. He's got some great feet. He loves to run, and that's what I like about him. And then he's good. He's really good. He's better than everyone thinks he is. I think he's a really good quarterback, and I think it's going to be a good game. This might be. I know Jefferson's out. It's tough. This is going to be a tough game. I think, the Vikings are a better team. I think they are a better team. I really do think they are, guys. I don't know. I see them, their 7th offense against the 11th offense of the Saints. The Saints defense is good, but they're ranked 12th and 19th for, Minnesota. Think about it. The passing, of course, you can't really do the passing for the Vikings. But, hey, Derek Carr is 7th. Top 10 passing. Yes, top 10, guys, the Saints. And they're 14th in rushing. And, so Kamara, definitely Offglave, Derek Carr, and Addison. I just be careful with Minnesota. But I think Minnesota's going to surprise and win this game. I really do. And we have the Packers and the Steelers. Steelers start their defense. Packers, Jones, want to start Love. Maybe it's so hard. They just haven't been really too good this year. Love, I just don't believe in him. But, he will drive down the field, but maybe I would start Pickens. Yeah, definitely Pickens. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Fun game. I think it's going to be more of a defensive battle this game. So it's definitely the Steelers defense. And you have the Titans, Will Levis, DeAndre Hopkins, start. The Bucks, Baker Mayfield. If you have Baker, yeah, start him. I think Mike Evans, Godwin. I don't know. I don't know why I wouldn't. White, everyone likes him, but I mean they're 3-5 team, guys, and White, their running is non-existent. They more like pass to him out of the backfield, So Otten, I would start Otten. The Falcons, Cardinals, Bijan Robinson, of course I would start. Want to start Ritter? Ritter's not playing, I don't believe. I think it's Heineke. Maybe Heineke. I would probably start him. Drake London's back. Start him. Cardinals, Kyler Murray, you got to start him. Just check in the morning and see if he's really going to be playing. But if he is, start him. I think he'll do well. I think he's pissed off because of everyone bagging on him. Okay, the Lions, Chargers, start everyone on the Lions. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Haber, yeah, start him. You might have problems with the Lions sacking him. And Eckler, start him. Watch yourself with the Chargers on this one. Watch yourself. The Detroit Lions are for real. Detroit Lions are for real. I would start their defense of Detroit. Defense of the Chargers are getting better. They're getting better, but they're still not up to par. Really, they just aren't, guys. Think about it. You look at the defense. It's like ranked 24th and 4th. Yeah, 4th. The Lions are 4th. The Lions passing are 10th. The Lions rushing are 10th. Their offense is 8th. Hello. Top 10 in all 4 categories. Offense, 8th. 4th, defense. 10th, passing. 10th, rushing. Come on, man. No wonder they're in first place. And no wonder the Chargers are their record 18th in offense, 24th in defense, 14th in passing, and 23rd in rushing. You know what I mean? So you have to look at those stats. When you say, oh, maybe, I think the Chargers have a chance. I don't know. No. They're at home. That's their only chance. I'm sorry. The Lions are just a better team. They just are. I think, honestly, I think the Chargers actually have I think they have better stars. I think they do. But the coach, I don't believe in the coach. He hasn't made this team, viable. They just haven't, and we got to watch that. And you have the Giants and the Cowboys. Wow. Daniel Jones tore his ACL. He tore his ACL at one play. He has so much guts. I'm sorry. If you bag on Daniel Jones, get out of here. You're a jerk. You have nothing. You know nothing about football. Guy's on his back 24/7 in that offensive line. He runs to win. He tears his ACL, right? He stays out there with a torn ACL. And he plays one more down. He sat down because his knee was torn. But he guts it out, right? I mean, I'm sorry. Daniel Jones, man, you are gutsy. I'm giving it up to you, brother. Yeah, well deserved, Daniel. Well deserved. But we have the Giants, and I don't know. They're just Barkley. I don't know who they. I mean, how they're DeVito's gonna. Danny DeVito. Every time I hear the guy's name, DeVito starting, I'm thinking, Danny DeVito? Oh my God. Anyway, Cowboys. It's just gonna. I don't know. I mean, Giants defense is for real. I mean, look what they did to the Jets, right? But, the Jets offense sucks. Sorry, guys. It does suck. Come on. Let's be honest. And so, but the Cowboys are going to just destroy them. Unless the Giants defense come to play. And, you never know about the Cowboys. That's the only thing with the Cowboys, man. It's just like, they just are so disappointing. They just are. They're just so disappointing. They got so much talent. I don't understand. Every year it's like this. Every single year. The offense is only 16th for the Cowboys, 26th for the Giants, 26th defense for the Giants, which is terrible, but second ranked defense for the Cowboys, second in the NFL, guys. Their passing is 15th. Think about it. Dak Prescott with all the weapons, right? Offensive line, Tony Pollard, you name it. All these weapons. And he's 15th, middle of the road. And you wonder why I bag on him so much and I bag on the team. And I say, well, Dak Prescott's never going to bring a team to the Super Bowl. I don't know. I hope he proves me wrong. I don't think he will. Maybe he could. Maybe it's the team itself, the way it's run. I don't know. The rushing is 19th. I mean, rushing for the Giants, it's 11th. 11th. Hello. So don't give up on the Giants in this game. I think they might keep it close. I think they might. I used the word might in the sentence. So, definitely Cowboys. Got to start them. Seahawks, Commanders, Sam Howell, start him. McLaurin, start him. DK Metcalf, Walker, Lockett, you name it. Just start those guys. It's going to be a fun game to watch. And then the Jets, Raiders, Brace Hall, start him. I mean, the Raiders against the run are terrible. So he's got to run up and, hey, Dalvin Cook, they might even put Dalvin Cook in this game. He might be running. You never know. But I don't know. That offense, just the whole thing, they were going to run. But, the thing which you have to understand is that they know that their offensive firepower with passing with Zach Wilson is just non-existent, right? So, I mean, they just might load the box and say, hey, Zach Wilson, beat us deep. So I don't know. I just, it's a question mark. Jets defense, start them. Raiders defense, start them. Raiders with Devontae Adams, I would start him. The new kid on the block, that quarterback loves the gunsling. Myers, start Myers. Jacobs, start the defense. The Jets defense, start them. Maybe Wilson's. Bryce Hall, like I said. Anyway, last game, the Broncos and the Bills. Oof, in Buffalo. Orchard Park. You don't know what what it's going to be like, and it's November, guys. It's in Buffalo. It could be snowing. I know it's snow up in Canada, so my brother lives up there. So, man, It probably will be snowing or very, very cold. Broncos are used to that. It's two cold weather teams. It's going to be fun to watch. You know, the Broncos are playing so much better ball than their debacle against the Miami Dolphins. But the Bills' offense is third. Their passing is fourth. You know, the defense for the Broncos are still 31st in the league. 31st. Wow. And passing is 28th. Terrible. I mean, Russell Wilson, please retire. Please retire after this year. Really, buddy. You got to retire. Or trade him. That's their nemesis, is Russell Wilson. I think he might have a somewhat of a good game. I wouldn't start him. Williams, I'd start. Wouldn't start their defense, that's for sure. Not against Buffalo. Buffalo's defense, I'd start them. Diggs, you know, the regular players. Diggs, Allen, you know, Kincaid. Kincaid's great play in this game. Cooks is a great play. So, you know, guys, thank you so much for listening. I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much. Don't forget. Don't remember. Well, I have no idea if you're remembering or not. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notifications on, and comment. I'm giving away hats. For Thanksgiving, I'm going to give away hats. So you have to stay tuned for my Thanksgiving show. And we're going to light it up. And we get some good predictions from everyone. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Enjoy fantasy football, guys. I had a great time. Thank you, Calvin Dean.